I would like to start with a short introduction. I'm Elif. I'm working for Adesso as a technology head in quality assurance with a background over 13 years in the IT industry. During all this time, I've been witnessed several times to the mobile application managements, which are hosted on AWS cloud. And in that regard, I think I can consider myself as lucky because each time I have experienced some new features from AWS. Today, together with Erhan, we'll show you one of the recent practice we had on the AI-based scouting mobile application developed by our mobile team. So yeah, before starting with it, I would like to introduce Adesso in a few words very briefly. Adesso is one of the largest IT service providers in the Central Europe with consisting of 69 branches all around the world. Recently, we have also launched our new branch in the UK, and we are expanding globally in different regions. On the other hand, our growing workforce is not less impressive compared to our branches. We are able to attract large numbers of highly skilled and highly motivated people to work for us. Currently, there are more than 10,000 employees working for Adesso at the moment. And the services we provide ranges from consulting to service development, implementation, and operation. The main focus is on defining and implementing IT-supported business models and processes and developing proper applications for our clients. Here is today's agenda. We are gonna start with talking about the story and the history of the mobile application, which is a great example for us for the usage of AWS. And our second topic will be, of course, the challenges and the solutions, because when you talk about the mobile development or any kind of development, you know, you always face with some challenges as usual. And we will also describe today what kind of solutions we applied in order to resolve these challenges that we faced and how AWS helped us out during this process. And finally, I will hand over to Erhan for his presentation, which is about the system cloud architecture that we have in that mobile application. So yeah, as I said at the beginning, it is a football-related application. The story of a Gürcüoğlu app is really interesting as well as satisfying if you stand on the development side as me and Erhan. So this is an AI-based football scouting application which aims to discover unseen football talents from all around the world. It allows users to register and upload their football exercise videos such as passing, drilling, ball dribbling, and various different exercise types which are predefined actually within the application. After processing your video in the AI, it measures some key parameters such as the exercise duration, the player speed, the ball speed, and the distance, and so on. So it measures all of these specific parameters. Relying on these data, this AI gathered from the video, it calculates a score for the player. By this way, players can see their score, also their rank in the leaderboard among the other users. So they basically can compare their skills with the other players. So you may think that how you ended up with this idea or how your client has ended up with this idea. The business need behind this application is quite inspiring to me. The idea is a result of a certain business need of sport managers, because in traditional way of scouting, as you can imagine, they have to travel all around the world. They have to visit many different football clubs. They have to watch the football games of different players, and they need to make a selection among all of these players that they have seen. However, the time and the opportunity to find the best talent is very limited in this traditional scenario. Imagine that you're a scout and you're visiting a football club somewhere in Europe. At the same time, there is a game is happening at somewhere in South America where maybe the Messi of the future plays with an incredible football skills. In the traditional way of this scouting, you would never have a chance to find all of the talents around the world without getting the advantage of innovation and the technology, because you cannot exist in many different places at the same time, right? There are too many football clubs all around the world, and you don't have a chance to see all of the talents. Let's look at the scenario from the other side, from the perspective of a talent who has limited access to the opportunities to showcase their excellent football skills. Maybe you don't play for any club, or you don't have a family support behind you, or your family has a really low income, so you cannot expect them to send you to a football school to improve your skills. There are so many kids around the world with no chance to showcase their skills, their football skills, even though they have amazing ability. This application that we have implemented, this app actually offers a really good opportunity to make talented kids visible to the football scouts and also for sure the football management companies. So this is the story behind it. And as I said at the beginning, the app gets the benefits of AWS, which we are going to focus today. It is hosted on the cloud environment, which brings us a really good level of flexibility. It gets the benefit of deep learning methods to train the AI model. AI does pose estimation, ball tracking, and marking the cone in order to measure different parameters such as movement, speed, distance, ball dribbling, and many other parameters. And bringing all these aspects together, finally, this project has been a pioneering project using high-end software technology in the discovery of talented football players. I would like to show you how the exercise videos that I mentioned look like on the AI side. This is not a screenshot which was grabbed from our mobile application, but this is just a video which I got from the AI side, because I would like to show you how AI calculates the different parameters and how it does the image recognition. So I hope that the video plays, because sometimes, you know, we may have some troubles with the technology, right?
You can see the dribbling of the...
Okay, that's great. So I will play once again. So as you can see here, you can see how the player has been recognized by AI. It detects the cones around the ground, and it detects the ball, and it basically tracks all of the movements of a player during this video. So we keep all of these videos in the S3 bucket in AWS. Here we see an example of square with ball exercise. By this exercise, it is aimed to measure players' agility and the ball dribbling skills. This video actually is an example to one of our best use cases for the image recognition, because as you can see here, the ball is white, background is green, cones are detectable easily. However, this is not the case all the time, because, you know, you may not have this contrast colors all the time. The ball could be in a different color. The player cannot be that much detectable. For that reason, we had to upload many videos, and we did labeling using the SageMaker service of Amazon in order to train our AI model to enhance it on recognizing the objects in different colors and shapes. So yeah, we have already started to talk about the challenges, but for today, I have actually selected two main challenges for us. The application is registered required application, which means as a user, you need to register before you start recording your exercise videos. At the beginning, the only way of registration was the email. After distributing the application in the districts of favelas, for the ones who doesn't know where is favelas, favelas is a place, is a district in Brazil, which has really low income residents. And after distributing the application in favelas, especially in that region, we have seen that the bounce rate in the registration flow is really high. In another way to saying that the conversion rate of a registration was really low. That means so many users actually download the application, they attempt to register, but somehow they don't complete the registration flow successfully. After making a user research, we noticed that the kids, which is our main audience actually in that region, the kids in favelas usually do not have an email address. They don't even have their own mobile device. We noticed that they usually tend to use their parents' mobile device, or they just enter the email address of their parents, which means that they're not able to receive the verification email because it's not their phone actually. So this one was one of the major challenges that we had at the beginning, and we actually resolved this issue with one of the AWS solutions. I will explain later on. And the other biggest challenge was the precision of artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence is the most significant part of this application, as you have seen already. And for that reason, it has to work with high accuracy, because the results of a AI discourse that we got from the AI should be fair in order to compare the player skills in fairly. So these were the two main challenges that we had, and we resolved these challenges with two services of AWS. One was the Amazon Cognito. During the registration flow, we have integrated the Amazon Cognito, which is the customer identity and the access management system. And for the AI precision, we get the benefit of Amazon SageMaker, which is a machine learning service. So yeah, for the user acquisition, I mean, within the registration part, if you ask to us why we have selected Cognito, because it's really easy to integrate with the mobile applications. It has its own SDKs for iOS and Android, because our application has been developed for both iOS and Android. So that was a common way to resolve this issue with Cognito. It was really easy to integrate with this SDKs. And the other reason was the scalability. AWS Cognito is designed to scale with the size of your user base, because even though the current user pools are not that large, in the future, of course, we would like to require so many users as well. In that regard, scalability was one of the concerns from our side, and AWS was really helpful on that side. The other reason was for sure security. Since it is an identity and access management platform, it has to be secure. And the last thing was the authentication options. I think this aspect has really a significant impact on our tool selection, because as I said at the beginning, we only supported email addresses at first, but then we realized that we need to support other options because email is not the most convenient way for the kids. We need to we need to support the phone number registration option, the Google registration, and the Apple registration as well. So to support all of these different sign-up options was really convenient in Cognito. Here I gathered some of the screenshots from our Cognito setup, from our Cognito configuration. Here, as you can see, you can easily update your password policy. For example, at the beginning, we also included here one more restriction while creating your password. It was the special character. It was mandatory to put at least one special character into your password. But then again, we realized that most of the kids don't know how to type a special character in the mobile phone. And then for that reason, we had to remove that restriction from our password policy. And it was really easy to do that because it was already managed by the Cognito. As you can see here, we also start to support phone number. We started to support Google registration and sign in with Apple with the help of a AWS SDK. Moving on to the SageMaker part. So the reasons why we have selected the SageMaker for the AI precision, because it has powerful machine learning capabilities. It provides a comprehensive set of tools and services for building, training, and deploying the machine learning models at scale. Again, one of the reasons was scalability and the performance. If you're working with machine learning techniques, then performance is really important. So when we had a benchmark on this, we have seen that it is remarkable that there is a remarkable difference between AWS and the other services. And the cost effectiveness for sure, because AWS SageMaker offers a pay-as-you-go pricing model. So it was one of the benefits that we get. And the end-to-end workflow automation was an additional reason about why we have selected SageMaker for our AI modeling. Here, I also got the screenshot from our SageMaker configuration. Here, I just wanted to show you how we were doing the labeling. For example, in the image here in this slide, you can see that the camera, the mobile device, has been placed really far away from the player and the ball, and it's really barely detectable. I mean, the ball, cones, and the player is barely detectable in this image. So for that reason, we had to upload so many videos and so many images to the SageMaker, and we have done labeling. Basically, we have labeled all of the balls, we have selected the players, the cones, and everything. And by this way, we have trained our AI models. So these are all the reasons that why we have selected these two major services from AWS. And from that point, I would like to hand over to Erhan for his presentation.
Thank you, Elif. And I will continue from the point you have left. And first of all, hello, thanks for attending and thanks for providing this valuable time to us, to Ingram. And it's perfect to mention our application to you. First thing first, let me introduce myself. I'm working for Adesso Turkey for over 2 years with total 14 years IT experience. Main concern in Adesso is delivering solutions in touch with cloud technologies. I have contributed many projects using AWS technologies as a cloud architect. Having a developer background, I am trying to extend our developers' experience with the cloud native mindset. Then let us check out what we have tried for our application from the point Elif handed over to me. Thanks to Elif, it was wonderful first. And I want to mention about different parties' experience focused on a mobile dev perspective. Now, I'm showing you our landscape on AWS. Our application born to cloud and uses AWS. Thanks to Sarab, already introduced similar flow in his presentation, so I can easily explain our practice. We have classified our domains at account level first. Every account holds its responsibility, creates its own cost, handles its own authorization, and it states there is nobody with unrelated account access. Starting from the first account is our root account rules our authentication on AWS as a developers of the project and manage our role-based access control configuration. For moving the network account, it's responsible for private cloud configurations. Also, network connections between accounts and public internet are managed by this account. We have front-end, back-end, database, monitoring, security, AI, and share account. Okay. In front-end account, we are managing our name resolution needs using Route 53. Also, we have a critical requirement about accessibility. As Elif said, our client focuses on the regions where they are not very developed. Using CloudFront edge deployments, we have brought a solution for low latency and maximum availability for better user experience. Distributed media content, cached endpoints for application load balancer located here. Also, we manage certificate-related works and our front-end application as like a content management system uses these accounts resources. When I moved to backend, the core business in this account was content management for mobile applications. Application in this account serve our mobile applications, everything they need. At this point, I want to mention about our code base. We have used TypeScript for language uniqueness in infrastructure, backend, and frontend. Every resource in AWS, I think I can say nearly every resource, I will explain later. Every resource in AWS managed by CDK for TypeScript. And our backend applications developed with Nest.js is a backend framework on JavaScript or TypeScript, and front-end application developed with Angular. All these applications developed with regarding cloud-native mindset, and we have followed a monorepo approach for these developments. Declarative pipelines developed for provisioning infrastructure, building apps, checking code quality, managing artifacts, running end-to-end tests, and deploying the applications our environments. Our containerized workloads orchestrated by managed AWS container environment known as ECS, backed by EC2 instances. Our pipelines also preparing our EC2 instances to run containerized workloads for long-running things. Also, we have experienced serverless environments for event-triggered workloads. As an example, I can say we have used user operations like login, password, reset, and registration. We have used some lambdas, also developed in TypeScript, for doing this event trigger operation. Our applications run behind the application load balancer, also mentioned in the front-end account. as distributed to edge, and a routing rule to application and some header checks managed here with this backend account. Okay. Let's check our database account. Database accounts serve our applications in summarized two ways. We have two database services using managed AWS services. The first is persisting relational data for user and contents consumed by mobile applications. As most use RDBMS is RDS for PostgreSQL selected for relational data. The other is storing some results and some calculation points that come from the calculations, and as a structure in documents, we have used document DB for this type of data. Okay, let's check our monitoring account. Monitoring account holds our observability load. With CloudWatch, we are collecting logs from applications and metrics from our services, and we are using some dashboards to monitor our resources running on the all accounts. And also we have some fine-tuned alarms help us to sleep well nights, and thanks to Gökhan is also help us to sleep well nights. X-ray allows us to see if anything goes wrong way, and we are trying to achieve efficient timings and getting short paths, getting shortest path for the request. And we are using X-ray traces and X-ray trace analytics for this. Okay. And the other account is one of the highlighted points by Elif in security account. We have managed our application users' authentication with Cognito, and they are activating their accounts or resets their passwords using these AWS services, email and SMS. And as mentioned before, easily integrated services made our work easier than in old times. I really don't want to remember the days when we are trying to integrate our services to mobile operators' SMS endpoints. It was complicated and also seamless integration with mostly known SSO providers like Google and Apple or Meta allowed us to provide our users experience some flexible and better UX for the application. The other account is our AI services, which is the one of our core domain for application. We need to be both cost efficient and reliable. And for these requirements, we have used some services from AWS. As we regarding requirements, our workflows generally were fit with the event trigger, because we need some user uploads, we need some user triggered thing to run our services, and we have selected to use event trigger architecture for starting all things for the AI. And we have used AWS simple queue services. First, these upload things. We collected all data come from the user in a queue, and we have used applications run in AWS ECS clusters for detection, classification, and some extraction things. And AI clusters, tech stack like containerized Python-based applications. Indeed, after a while, we moved some long-running, some event-based workloads to Lambdas as Docker container. Also, our colleagues used, as Elif said, SageMaker, managing machine learning thing to create their pipelines about the data and AI preparations. They have already used build and train and deploy their models. Our last account is not a direct domain. We can say is a utility. We have shared accounts. We need to prevent some duplications, and we need use some resources as is like S3. And we are using S3 buckets for as much as for the object types. Media for applications, images, videos, maybe audios are stored in here, and survey mentioned in the front-end part as CloudFront distributions, because we need to distribute our applications all over the world, and especially can be work in rural networks and low bandwidth. Also, we have script manager in the shared account. All applications running in their domains use this script manager to manage their configuration and some password or identity things. Artifact management is also is another topic concerning by this account. We have used Elastic Container Registry to store our Docker images in this account. Oh, sorry, I didn't have the presentation for the shared account. Okay, let's check our key success factors. Managing a multi-account environment was important to isolating domains and managing their shareholders' roles and accesses. Also, with this, we have managed to increase the visibility of the cost for every account and every domains. Also, we mentioned lots of for this requirement. Our markets have limited connectivity, and we need to provide them a maximized user experience. And we have provided accessibility by touching the nearest point. We had an intent to stick with a cloud-native mindset for DevOps process. We have tried to use best practices to provision environments and used infrastructure as code tools. For some reason, it started with Terraform and continued with CDK for TypeScript. To maximize collaboration in teams, we have used the same language as mentioned before as TypeScript. For AI and ML side, as infra perspective, we need to be cheap and share our costs with another cloud users. And I wanted to mention one lesson learned on this session. please don't mix up infrastructure as code tools. First, they seem too manageable, but after a while, when resources get more dependent and varied, teams become a real chaos. And please take your time to refactor as soon as possible when you decide to replace your tech stack for infrastructure as code thing. Okay. When I move to improvement points for our services managed by AWS, stated in the backend part, we are using EC2-backed Elastic Container Services to be more flexible, and we are considering moving to a Fargate ECS. But regarding cost, it doesn't seem to be easy, but discussions are on the table now. And the other point is replacing DocumentDB with the DynamoDB. Being used by managed services of DynamoDB is the first criteria what we are considered. Also, flexibility of usage of tables and some large flexible extensibility of the tables is another key point for our decision. Also, it's on the table for this movement. And let's see what will how we continue. And yes, I think we reached the end. And thanks for listening me. Need to say again, very appreciated to be here. Thanks.
Thank you so much. Thank you for that. That was great. We have overrun by 2 minutes, and I cannot see any more questions in the chat. Let me just have a look if there is any question on the Q&A. Let me see, it's loading.
In case of any questions, I think we can also answer one-to-one.
Yes.
Please do not
Yes.
hesitate to reach out to us.
Yep.
From any platform you wish.
Yes, I will send a wrap-up email to everyone saying thank you for attending. I will send copies of the presentations, and yeah, your contact details will be there. So thank you everyone for joining, and have a lovely day.